Okay. So, we're going to start standing. And, all right, there we go. Separate your feet hips width. Put a little bend in your knees and just start to move yourself backwards and forwards. And then add your arms. Hook your thumbs together over your head, stretch up, and keep going, forward and back. And then notice that if you put a bend in your knees, that you can just kind of glide yourself back and forward, and it doesn't feel like you're so much tipping as you are rocking. And then find the place that's right in the center, where you feel like you can just stand in your whole foot. The invitation from there is to close your eyes. Do a little unsticking of your side ribs. You can take an easy rock left and right, a little lean left and right. And when you get back to your center, just switch the cross of your thumbs. Put your imagination in your armpit. And think that your armpit got intellectually divided in half so that you could really sense that there's a down and an up. There's a down button that roots you all the way down into your legs. When there's an up that reaches you all the way out through your fingers. Take a breath there. And as you exhale, just release your hands by your sides. Beautiful. Feel free to keep your eyes closed or open them. Flip your palms up, sweep your arms back up. Nice and easy. Turn your hands out, exhale. Release your hands by your sides. One more time. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Take a big full breath. And exhale your hands down by your sides. And then interlace your hands behind your back. All right, so just take a second and squeeze your elbows back so that your palms can meet, the heels of your hands can meet. Put your thumbs right at your sacrum and pull a little bit more. And as you're pulling with your elbows, push your sacrum into your hands, right? So it feels like you're really starting a bit of a back bend. And then reach your arms back behind you. Good, nice. Bend your knees halfway. So it's by virtue of that back bend that you're getting a lot of space in your spine. And then think that you're taking a look over to your right. Yep. And then back to center and to your left. And then back to center with your belly on your thighs. Fold over your legs. And then open the heels of your hands, but keep your hands interlaced if you can. And just do a little scoot, bring your hands behind your hips, trying to scoot your legs through yourself through. Hold your opposite elbows behind your knees. And then release and hold opposite elbows in front of your knees. All right, and so now we're in a true hang. Let it really feel like that. Like your upper is just pouring out of your hips. Let your head get really nice and heavy. And the heavier your head gets, the lighter your seat gets. Don't be afraid to add a gentle sway side and side. And switch the clasp of your elbows. Stay for just a little bit longer, letting time and gravity unwind you. And then release your hands to the earth. Lift and lengthen your spine. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, fold all the way back. And then root as you rise. Come on up to stand. Ooh, no rush. Maybe a little head rush. Take your thumbs, hook them together over your head. And now a big lean over to your right. Good. Step your left foot behind and lean a little bit more. You can even today go way over to the side. So it's almost like you're about to curtsy. Beautiful. Rise to center. Come all the way back and then switch the clasp of your thumbs as you lean to your left. Same thing. You can take a step back with your right foot. Don't be afraid to take a little bit more space. Come on back to center. And then exhale, fold over your legs. Round two. This time, stretch your arms out in front of you. Really reach them. So you're kind of sitting back in your heels. There's a little bend in your knees. Your torso is on your legs, but you're stretching your arms out. That's it. And play with this until you can stack your knees right over top of your ankles. It's almost like you've cantilevered yourself. And then come up onto the balls of your feet. Just lift your heels up just enough. And twist to your right. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right ankle. Get a really sweet hold. And a peek underneath of your right arm. Now sometimes I really specify armpit to chin, chin to armpit. But for right now, just put your bicep and your cheek together and try to find a little bit of back bend by lifting your seat up and stretching the crown of the head out and away. And then re-extend your left fingertips and switch it. Take your right hand across. Hold the outside of your left ankle. Outside of your left heel. Make that a gorgeous fit. Look underneath your left arm. And you're actually looking for a diagonal. Let your left heel fall into your palm as you reach your right hip up and away. And then re-extend your right fingertips. Go ahead and lower your knees to the earth, please. And come to your tabletop. Beautiful. Pick up your right hand, spin it around, turn it to face you. Do the same exact thing with your left hand. A nice easy bend in your elbows. A lot of substantiation, a lot of rooting through your feet. And then start your cat and cow. Breath in and breath out. All right, so we're gonna go for a little while. I want you to just play with your pacing if you can, if that feels available. And what you might notice is that at some point, something shows up, right? The couch that you sit in the most, meaning a hand that's holding all of your weight, a little tweak in your back, a little funkiness in your shoulder, a lifting up of one foot. You'll know it, right? And the idea is to go back and bolster that. Like if there was a crack in the mortar of your house, a little chip, you'd want to make sure that you go back in there, and that's the repair spot, right? But part of the repair is making sure that everything else is holding. And so can you distribute the weight from left hand to right knee, from right hand to left knee? Can you make sure that you're coming all the way from tail to crown and back down? It's not getting stuck somewhere in the middle. Not getting stuck around the head or the neck, right? That's the equivalent of getting a little hot-headed. It's like the steam can't come all the way out. The smoke can't rise all the way out. The flute's not open. And so just keep moving between these and really find the dance of the transition. The up and the down. In a way, just put a wave in your spine and keep waving it one direction and then the other. One direction and then the other. And 3, and 2, and 1. Take a super slow round. Come on back to center. Turn your hands to face forward. And then put your right knee right in the middle of the mat. And crisscross your left knee behind it. Take a few circles. For these, we are going to go big. We're going to go behind the knee and around the knee. The knee is the center point of your circle, and you are circling your hips around it. Good. Switch the direction. Right now, it's like we just took a little dust brush, dust mop to our corners. And then come back to center. So now we're going to move to the middle of the room. Put your hips right over top of your knees and keep them there as best as you can. Keep your knees right under your hips. Now start to make some circles around your hips. So this is just those tight little circles, us twirling in the middle of our room, spinning in the middle of the room. And 3, you can imagine if you've ever seen those robot vacuums, the Roombas. The Roomba just got stuck in the middle of the room and is going round and around, around and around. And then switch to the direction of your circles. And 3, and 2, and 1, and back to center. Tuck your toes. Come up and back to a down dog with your legs crisscrossed. And really find the fit of the back knee into the front knee. The front of the left knee into the back of the right knee. Let it rest like something rests in a hammock. And stretch your heels to the earth and your seat up, 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 and back. Not just to the sky, but on the diagonal. Try to reach for the place where the wall and the ceiling meet. And then bring your left leg in front. Lower your knees back down to the ground. Switch where your hands are. It doesn't matter what you do with them. You can work on your fingertips. You can work with your hands turned around. You can interlace your fingers to the webbing. I'll leave it up to you. When you're ready, take your circles, big circles at first. All right, we've gone back to the corners. We're going all the way around the perimeter of our room. Just making sure that we're getting around the baseboards. Yep. Go the other way. And then put yourself directly in the center. Put yourself on the spin cycle and go around your hips, around your hips, around your hips. Yeah, you can imagine like you're trying to get all the water out. So you spin it and spin it and spin it and spin it. So it's well blended. Beautiful. And then go the other way. Around, around, around. It's these tight little circles. And 3, and 2, and 1. Slow yourself to a pause. Place your hands down, tuck your toes, up and back to a dog. So look, even though your legs are crisscrossed, your feet are hips width. Even though your legs are crisscrossed, you're still trying to get all 10 toes to face forward. Obviously, your back heel can come down a little bit more than your front heel. That's on purpose. But keep bending your knees into one another, almost like you're pushing them towards one another. Yep, like you're tightening up on a bolt so that you can really find that center place, like the center of the scissor, and then stretch the seat up and reach the heels down. And stretch the seat up and reach your heels down. And as you're stretching your seat up, go forward through your fingers. Really start to play all of your directions, forward and back and left and right and up and down. And then simply lower your knees down to the ground. Put your knees on their own side. Beautiful, tuck your toes, sit up on your heels. Interlace your fingers to the webbing, stretch your palms to the sky. Give yourself all the places, all of your soft places, right? The underside of your foot, the underside of your hands. Keep reaching your heels back to really stretch the sole of the foot. Keep reaching your arms up, 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 up. And then as you exhale, release your hands. Good. Now come to the top of the foot, right? The shell of the foot. Use your hands for support. You can let your heels fall open and just lean back. Try to pick up your knees. Make any little movements you need to. You can make little circles. Beautiful. And come on back, lower your knees back down to the ground. Come up to your hands and knees. All right. From here, reach your right leg back behind you. And then stack your right hip on top of your left. Spin your left foot open. So you're coming into a little baby Ardha Chandrasana, a baby half moon. Today, right arm over your ear. We're going to play with this a lot. Reaching through the whole side of the body. So kick your back heel straight back behind you. Reach out to your fingers, through your fingers. Now can you look at your hands? Now can you look past your hands? You've started a bit of an arc. Now see if you can lean back into a back bend just enough. Make sure your arm's coming with you. Think 11 o'clock, maybe even 10 o'clock. Keep looking exactly where you are and reach back and grab your foot. Kick your foot back. So there's a root through your left hand, but there's also a rise up through your right collarbone, a lot of buoyancy. Nice and easy, unwind it. As you bring the right hand back to center, bring your left foot back to center. Good, bring your knee into your chest and then circle it out. And do that a few more times, big circles. Switch the direction. One more time, go out and away from yourself. Land your right knee behind your left knee, crisscrossing at your knees. Bring your feet wide, walk your hands backwards. Stand up on your knees. Good, make any adjustments you need to, right? We're fleshy humans, make adjustments for that. And then once you've found that you can kind of center yourself in your knee, bump your weight a little bit more to your front knee, to the best that you can. Reach your arms up when you're ready. And then maybe give it a little bit more, hold your opposite elbows. These are all just good stages, right? Good bus stops. If you're like, oh yes, I want more, I'm ready for a back bend. Interlace your hands behind your head, elbows forward. Now you've got a hammock with your hands, lean your head into it. Keep throwing the elbows up to the sky. Come on back, release your hands down to the earth. Keeping your legs crisscross, tuck your toes, come to a downward facing dog. And then adjust to a plank pose. Scoot your feet back until you're in a regular plank length. Fire up your legs, take a breath in, and then drag your seat up and back to a dog, a little bend in your knees. Shoot yourself forward to a plank. Drag your seat up and back to a dog. Plank pumps with your legs crisscrossed, in and out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Forward, back. Forward, back. 3, 2, 1. Plank pose and drag it to a dog. You're gonna reach your right leg, the one that's behind, up, up, up. Step it all the way to your left hand. You are working on a diagonal. Come up to your fingertips and bend your front knee. And then lower your back knee down to the ground for a moment. Pull your right hip back so it's like you're squaring your hips and just pull your heart forward. As you're pulling your right hip back, keep stepping into your right foot, like you're making an imprint with your right foot. And then we're going to step left foot, top of the mat, goes behind your right leg. Fold in half. Bring your hands to your heart, rise and stand. Open the arms at the top like you're just opening like a big geyser. And then bring your hands to your heart. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, lift and lengthen for a breath. Exhale, glide your left foot back. Right, so you're back in this lunge. Put your hands down, step your right leg back. Find your downward facing with your legs crissy-crossed. Step your left leg in front. And then lower your knees down to the earth. Beautiful. Put your legs on their own side. So nice. Extend your left leg back behind you. Good, stack your top hip over. Find as much of a kickstand with your right foot as you need to. Reach your left arm over your ear. And now look out towards your fingers. Even shoot your chin into your palm. Beautiful. Lean back a little bit so you're starting to find more of a back bend, and then circle your hand back and find your foot. It's like it's right there. Keep leaning your chest back as you're kicking your foot back. Good, one more breath. And then bring yourself back around. Bring your right foot back around and bring your knee in. And take it out, big circles. And then go the other way. Like you're scooping into yourself. Yes, beautiful. And then one time, out, around, behind. Walk your hands back. Stand up on your knees. Make your fleshy adjustments. Know that your feet are your footing. And when you feel good and ready, yes, I love that. Hands on hips are fantastic. It's just a little empowering move, not just for the chest, but also to really get your hips to feel sturdy. And then take your arms up. That's it. Maybe hold your opposite elbows. If and when you're ready, interlace your hands right behind your head. Elbows forward, elbows up. Come on back to center. So easy. Put yourself down. Nice. And then take it to a dog. And then come forward to a plank. Make adjustments in your hands, right? Normal plank length. Let your knees touch one another. And then drag your seat up and back to a dog. Second round of plank pumps. Come forward and come back. And what if we really lead with our lungs? Yes. Forward and back. Forward and back. In 3, 2, and 1. Find your dog. Lift your back leg. That's your left leg. Up, up, up. And step it to your right wrist. So you're in a crisscross. I'll show you from a different perspective. You're working on this diagonal. And even though you're doing that, right, the weight has a tendency to want to fall to the outside of the foot. And our work is step that foot down. And you'll feel how that just gives you more integrity everywhere. More information, more sensation in theory. Lower your back knee down for a moment. Can you keep your hips where they started, but pull your lungs forward a little bit more? I love this after days of sitting, right? The piriformis, the outer hips, they can start to yell at you a little bit. Good. And then step your right foot behind your left. Fold in half. Put enough bend in your knees that you can actually bring your hands to your heart and rise to your front. Rise with the back bend. Open at the top. Breath in. Exhale your hands to your heart. Right back down. Lift and lengthen. And rewind the tape. Step your right foot back. Good. Step your left leg back. It's crisscross in the front. And then lower your knees down to the ground. Put your legs on their own side. Good. Knees together, feet together. Sit back on your heels. Round 2. Use your hands for support. Rock back. Can you make bigger circles? Circles the other way. All right. And now reach down and hold your knees. So you're actually leaning back in order to hold your knees and really round yourself. Your chin to your chest. It's a little bit balancy. Just keep working with it. The more the top of the foot opens, the better the grip. One more. You're doing beautifully. All right, let yourself down. So I want to try something. I'm not sure if we've done this before, but before we take it into our lunging series, I want to try something with a chair. Does everybody have any kind of chair, like a kitchen chair? The only thing that won't work is like a lazy boy. Yep, that's perfect, Christine. Ellen, do you have a chair that will work? You can, okay. And look, if you don't have to do any of this on a chair. You can do the first part on the ground, but the chair will be nice. Now, the second part of this is that if you can scoot yourself to a wall to put your feet on the wall, that'll be great as well. Okay? I want to give Lee a second. All right. So, oh, I need to get my own chair. So my friends, here's what we're going to do with this. Bring your blocks with you if you have them. If you don't, not a big deal. First things first, I'm going to lay my left hip, my left side on the chair. And if we get going and you're like, wow, I am bony in the hips, you can always put a blanket on the chair like this, okay? Or just any kind of cushion. All right, so left hip. You want your feet on the wall, flat on the wall. Again, if you don't have access to a wall, you'll just have your legs back behind you. But the thing that's really nice about a wall is it helps to ground you. Okay, so far so good. So now, you are doing a side plank. Yay. Easiest side plank in the world. One foot on top of the other. And now, can you lower your left elbow to the ground? This is where, if you have a block, it can be nice, but it's not mandatory. You can put your head, your forehead, I'm sorry, your left temple on said block. If not, no worries. And then keep pressing your heels back behind you, wall or no wall. Let's add the top arm. Reach your right fingertips right over your ear, so your bicep is just aligned with your cheek. And maybe spider your fingers over to 11 o'clock. So far, so good? Yes. All right, we're gonna keep adding. So your one arm is over. You're just rooting yourself heels to the wall. Now pretend your legs are scissors and just open the top scissor by sweeping your right foot back an inch or two. Press the ball of your foot onto the wall. Yeah, it's like you've got on a high-heeled shoe on your right foot. Keep reaching. One more breath. All right, to dismount, you're gonna bring your right hand down. You're gonna bring your right knee down. Okay, so look forward. And from here, if you've got a block, we're gonna do a lunge on the chair. If you don't have a block, you're gonna move the chair and do a lunge without it. Okay, so the block is gonna go on the chair at a height that when you put your left leg back behind you, again, wall or no wall, you're actually gonna rest your thigh on the chair, unless you've got a tall chair, and your right foot comes forward to a lunge. So far, so good? And if you don't have a chair that you're working with, you don't have a block, you don't have whatever, you're just gonna put your back foot on the ground, of course. Okay? Take your arms out, 10 and 2. Right, so why the wall? Why are we rooting into the wall? Why are we using this chair? Because what it's doing is it's giving us scaffolding, right? It's really supporting the structure while we are building it. It's like we've decided we're gonna go into New York and we're gonna build the whole darn thing. We're gonna get all our scaffolding in place. So we really can set up the structure with stability, with integrity. All right, angle, wherever you are, angle your right toes to the right corner and take your hands over to the left diagonal. Keep your left hand on the earth. Reach your right arm over your ear. Good, look out towards your fingers. Okay, put your hand down. Reframe your right foot, turn your right foot back to center. If your back knee is up, if you're in a lunge with no chair, you can put it down for a second so you can stabilize yourself, also to take a breather. Everybody, bring your hands to your heart. Take a twist to your right and make a fist with your bottom hand. Put your right palm on top of it. Right, so especially if you've got a wall, keep using the wall to press your foot into the wall. And as you press back with your foot, reach forward through your crown. Good, find the balance of those two. Keep twisting. If you're not on a chair, you can lift your back knee up and see what that affords you. And then if you'd like, this is for everybody, you can split your hands. Keep straightening your back leg to capacity for 3, 2, and let it go. All right, get on down. Whew. Yeah. How was that? Questions, concerns? So yummy? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's do the other side. I like to turn my chair just so that I'm not facing my chair into my face into the chair for the second side plank, but that's up to you. Here we go. Voila. Okie dokie. Don't be afraid to blanketify yourself so that your bones get a little cush. Yep. All right, so right hand down, feet on the wall. This is my absolute favorite chair yoga pose, is side plank. It just feels yummy. When you're ready, right, you lower your elbow because we're inviting a little bit of a side stretch. Now, some people like to bring the hands over. For me, that doesn't feel as stable because it makes my shoulder curve in, turn in, but I'm gonna leave that up to you. It's really for you to start to figure out where your integrity is. And then maybe if you've got a block, put it underneath of your right temple. Press your heels back behind you, into the wall or simply in space. If and when you're ready, take your left arm over your ear, your fingertips on the ground, and then walk it around. Scoot it over to 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Keep pressing your heels back. All right, now we're going to open the scissors. It's just the top leg that goes back. You put the ball of the foot on the wall. And the more you press the ball of the foot back, the more you can actually reach and come around. The left hip starts to come on top of the right. Rather than rock back, actually rock your top hip forward. We're working an ever so slight internal rotation with the left leg to really open the hip, front of the hip crease. Last breath. All right. Left knee to the ground. Great. And let's get ready for our second lunging series. Right, so if you've got a block, that's gonna be underneath. It's so that your hips are level. That's why it's there. But for some of you, you might have shorter legs and you don't need as high a block, or you just might not need it at all. Your left leg is in front, your right foot is back. Okay, And then work the 90 of your front knee. It should fit right into your armpit. Take your time. Everything that is touching something is for your own information. Your left foot, right, is the whole left foot on the ground. Your right foot is the whole right foot making contact, whether it's with the wall behind you or just imagine that you're really pressing through all four corners. Is your left knee in your left armpit? Two more breaths. All right, now angle your left toes out to the left as you take your hands to the right. That's it. If and when you're ready, reach your left arm over your ear. Look out towards your fingers. Keep pressing the foot back behind you, especially through the big toe ball bounce. Inner foot. Nice. Come on back around. Bring your left foot back to center, right where you started. Yes, reorient. And then take your twist, close your twist across your knee. You can make a fist with your right hand, put your left palm on top and turn. Keep trying to straighten your back leg, right? Unless, of course, your knee is on the mat. And then unwind it. So nice. Okay, time to come down off your chair. Beautifully done. We are done with that for the moment. Good. Take a second, come back to the top of the mat. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Good, exhale, fold over your legs. Step back, one more plank pose. Drag your seat up and back to a dog. Pigeon, look forward, bring your right shin to the top. So nice. Decide where you want to take this pigeon. If you'd like to fold, please do so. If you want to keep it an upright pigeon, please do so. All right, come on up. Sit to your right leg. Bring your left leg all the way around. And I apologize for the glare. The sun is just at that spot right now. Bring your left shin in front of your right and walk your feet out so that they align with your outer knee. At the same time, you're walking your butt back just a little bit. Right, you can always sit up on a blanket or you can roll your mat up from behind. And then bring your hands behind you and use that like a kickstand to lift, to actually tip, not just from the chest, right, but from all the way down here, like you're tipping your hips forward a little bit, deepening this hip crease. You can imagine you just freed up your puppy dog tail behind you. Just stay right there. All right, so if you let go, and the answer is that you fall back, keep your hands there. If you can keep that, right, take your arms up to the sky. Beautiful, reach across, hold your opposite elbows, lift up, 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 up. That's it. Interlace your hands behind your head, scoop your elbows forward. Now you're gonna lean forward from your elbows and then find a little back bend so you stay on your perineum. So it's not leaning back behind you, it's coming forward and over. Breathe it, 3, and 2, and 1. Come on back to center, release your hands. Okay, so we're gonna take this once more. The left knee is gonna go in front of the right. Just see if you can arrange yourself. If you need to, you can come forward for a second to get yourself really clear. And don't be afraid to sit on something. Drag your seat back for gomukhasana. Your left leg is on top. You're gonna take your right arm out to the right. Good. To the best of your ability, keep this left hip on the earth. This one. Keep that outer hip on the earth. Sweep your arm up. All right, so you're doing this in this, taking that final lean into your side, and then shoot your chin up into your palm. Holy moly. Breathe it, 3. That was almost a disaster. Breathe it, 2. Come on back to center. Nicely done. Don't mind the ginormous bike that just fell down. Okay, friends, we're gonna take a little circle around your hips. I know, thank you for checking on me, Bernie. Hold on to your ankles, and you're just gonna go around and around. And if you feel like you're ready to take this for a spin, a little bit more challenging, instead of holding your ankles, hold behind your head. And see if you can really do the work from the hips. Yes, embody your inner Shakira. Yeah. Make it really fluid. And then go the other way. Just circle around the other direction. Beautiful, come back to center. Okay, I'm gonna give us a few options. You can take a fold. This, for most of us, is gonna be the easiest option. Not easy, just the easiest. You're gonna take an open twist. So, twisting towards the top leg. Left hand, left foot. Left knee, left armpit. Twisting this way to the right. Maybe your arm up. Or same pose, but close it. You come across, right? I'm working this foot around. You're twisting left. Make sense? Closed just means rather than kind of feeling the whole body opening one direction, it's like you're closing yourself off. Yep. Your choice. Nicely done. One more breath. Okay, come on back to center, come on upright. To get out of this, you can come to a plank, unwind, step to a dog, or you take a few rounds of flipping your dog, right? So it's tuck your toes, one hand goes in the middle, you unwind, swim, come on around, switch. Up to you. Take that on a spin a few times. And then you can just make your way back to a dog, and we'll set up for pigeon, second side. Left shin. Nicely done. Yeah. Same options, fold, don't fold. All right, come on up. Sit to your left hip, bring your right leg around, and bring your shin in front. Right shin in front of left shin. Flex your toes. It's like when we had our feet on the wall, right? And we were really pressing out through the heels. That's the action of it. Use your hands behind you as a kickstand and rock your pelvis. Tip your pelvis more forward than backwards. Good. If you don't need your hands for a kickstand, take your arms up. Same thing, perhaps you hold your opposite elbows. Maybe, just maybe, interlace your hands, elbows come forward. You're actually gonna lean forward all the way from the root and then scoop up. And then come on back, release, nicely done. Once more, you'll crisscross the right knee in front of the left. Right? Lead with your seat. Good. And then your left arm comes over to the left, your right arm goes up. Reach your chin towards your palm. Yes, to really find the most length out of the side of yourself, keep reaching the right hip towards the earth. And then come on up. All right, so maybe you hold on to your ankles. That can be a nice way to start, right? It's kind of getting a sense of where you are from the place where we're really trying to work, the ground of our being, right? The legs, the hips, the feet. And then if you feel like, all right, I have that, right? Then you start to handle it, but only after you know where you stand. So you can take your arms up and you can keep going. But think that this is in a way to make it actually a little easier for the upper body, right? It's just along for the ride. Around and around. So nice. And go the other way. And keep trying to come all the way around the bend. And 3 and 2, these are stunning. And 1, release, same options as before. Maybe you fold into it. Maybe you're taking an open twist, which in this case is right hand to right foot, right armpit, right knee, twisting left. Or you take the harder version and turn the other way. Harder, but we'll give you more information. Yes. All right, come on back to center. If you would like to take one more round of the twirly gigs, right, the rock forward, you flip it, great. If you want a more simple transition, put your hands behind you, unwind your feet, lift your hips. If that is too much for your wrists, right, reversing your tables up, lay on your back and come to a bridge pose. And then as you exhale, come on down, have a seat, legs out. For our last back bend of practice, I want to give everybody an option that makes sense for their body, right? Enough challenge or enough support. So first option is to lay on your back, and if you've got blocks, this will be the most supportive. You'll take a bridge pose and put your hips up on your blocks, okay? Option 2, you lay down and you take a wheel, upward facing bow. Option 3, right, is that you're gonna come into a Supta Virasana, reclined hero. The thing about this is that you're sitting not on your feet, right, but between your feet. And you may want a support system, blocks, one under your shoulder, one under your head, and you can recline from there. All right, we're gonna take 10 breaths. Whenever your final hip crease unfolder is, let that be the main event. Can you start to unfold your hip creases? Think that this is the anti-chair pose. All right, take your time to come up and out of that. Those of you who are in a Supta Virasana, you'll want to take a second and straighten out your legs in front of you in a staff pose, Dandasana. And then we're all going to meet on our back for a final rest. All right, so come on down. Feel free to gather your knees to your chest. Feel free to rock yourself. I'm just going to sit upright because there's a giant bike on my mat. But you take the pose that you like. Please feel free to stay as long as you'd like. If you've got more time, stay in your rest. If and when you're ready to come on back, Find your seat. Beautiful. And one final clear out for your lungs. One hand to your heart, one arm up. Exhale, switch, and go. Little sniffs, out through your nose. Out, 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 out. That's it. Just tap your heart at the center. Make a little drum sound. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, arms up, hook your thumbs. Take a sniff, take a sip, and again, hold your breath, let it rise up. And then pop, let it go. Gorgeous, gorgeous work. The light in me honors the light in each one of you.